it's just like the 30 to 40-year-old, white people and their kids, and they're ordering mac and cheese, hella mac and cheese, like hella mac and
The
cheese, and
mac
like
and cheese.
grilled cheese sandwiches.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Oh, wait, wait,
Okay,
wait.
what's up?
Before we
Yeah,
start,
yeah, yeah.
is it okay if I smoke on here? Like,
Absolutely. Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
Emerging independent black trans feminine artists. Fierce Entertainment Media Network. Be fierce.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Fierce Entertainment Media News. My name is Juju Blackman, and today we are blessed with a very, very, very special guest. Finally, we have singer-songwriter Chloe Hotline. Chloe, welcome to the show. How are you?
having me.
Uh-oh.
Wait, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I good?
I I can hear you now. What's
Am I
up?
good? Hello, hello.
You're good. You're good.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, okay, but yeah, I'm good. I'm really good.
It's very good to see you. It's very
Glad
good
to
to
be here.
finally
I'm glad to
meet
finally
you.
talk about
I'm
this
so
project.
happy to finally be chatting with you. I mean, we've been kind of chit-chatting here and there. I didn't really know if you were feeling the vibe of Fierce Entertainment Media, but I'm so glad that you decided to go ahead and agree to not only do the water ball, but do this interview as well. So thank you so much. I mean, how do you feel about the collaboration and chatting with me so far? How do you feel about the work that you've done with Fierce Entertainment Media so far?
I feel like this moment, this interview, it's overdue, but now is the perfect time. Like now is literally the perfect time with the water ball coming up and my album coming up. I think it's perfect timing.
Absolutely, I feel that. I feel that mostly because Kinfolk feels like a project that is so close to me. I mean, when I first heard your work, hearing your sound, I'm like, this is a sound that is so familial to me, like not even familiar, but like a familial sound. And that's what Kinfolk gives me. I don't know if you know, but Fierce Entertainment Media Network, it is a publication for Black trans women, but when we talk about spirituality through the publication, it's done through hoodoo. So like kinfolk is a huge like hoodoo word. So like what is kinfolk? Tell me something about kinfolk.
Um, so Kinnfolk, honestly, the name came from like, well, a lot of black people in America, we originate from the South. Like we originate
Yeah,
from the South, or we originate from, immigration. So it's kind of like everybody's connected in this sort of way, and that's why the name just kind of like, just kind of like it just came to me, and actually, it all kind of made sense because like I think one of my cousins in like Arizona or something found my music, and they asked my grandma, "Hey, isn't this somebody we're kin to?" And I'm just like, "That's it."
yeah, yeah. That's felt. That's felt. The vibe it gives me this southern like early 2000s like ludicrous definitely like two chains some titty boy drench guy vibes. Like tell me about those influences. Like you like two chains? Okay.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, okay. So Gucci Mane is one of my favorite musicians ever,
Okay.
and I heard a lot of his music. Just if you grew up specifically in the Midwest or the South, in the 2000s, you definitely heard like a crazy car driving by playing like the most countryest, loudest 808 bass. And 9 times out of 10, it would be a Gucci Mane song. So the song specifically, the song QP on the album is about the first time I went to Chicago. That experience was just it was frantic. But that's what the song is about. The beat is like the beat is directly like inspired from like that old Gucci Mane sound and like the old like, because a lot of people don't know like that production, like that early trap music in the 2000s, the production is as important as the artist is. So Gucci Mane, his go-to producer, Zaytoven, and Zaytoven, he's not even classically trained on the piano, but he's just like a piano god. Like his sound is just like so
that intro
with QP, that's exactly that's exactly what I was trying to do.
There's like a piano intro on the first track, Phase, right?
Yeah.
Where is that from?
Well, there's a lot of samples on this album. There's so many samples, like, but Phase, I kind of want to say where, and I'm just gonna say it. So, Louis Vuitton fashion show that they had, the last collection that Virgil had, that was the soundtrack for it. So I found the video, converted that to an MP3, chopped up the exact part that I want, like the exact section. And I just did the Chloe thing to it. I added some bells and whistles and added my signature sound to it.
Now that you mentioned the Chloe thing, I would consider you, every time that I sit down to listen to your work, to write about your work, to promote your work, I'm like, I always say Chloe is a cohesive artist. So would you agree with that? Well, very briefly, before we get to the most important track, very briefly.
When I'm making a project, I always try to be cohesive. Like, that's my main thing.
Okay. Do you worry that? I feel like that's such a 90s, early 2000 thing. Do you worry that everybody is moving away from that and you might have to move away from that too? Or are you sticking with it and moving forward into 2023, 2024 with that put together artistry?
Well, these days it's kind of disheartening because like the bigger artists, like a lot of times, like when artists pop these days, it's rarely that it's ever from a project. Everything is single based now. Everything is, what's the most iconic 30 seconds of this song? Let's take it, promote the hell out of it. But I feel like, and that's where because like I'm young, but I started paying attention to music right towards the end of the CD era. So like 2008, 2009.
I literally said to myself last night, I'm listening to this music.
Like,
and I'm like, this is 1999. I'm like, I don't know if Chloe was born yet.
I was not.
But I'm listening to Kinnfolk, and I'm like, this is 1999. And that's why I've always been drawn to you as an artist, because that is absolutely it. It sounds like the CD era, which I miss so much. So every time I listen to your music, I can't even believe it what I'm listening to, because it is like nothing else being made right now. It is so good. So thank you for the contribution. But let's talk about the single on the album, Cover Girl. Please tell me, what is this song about? This song is a little wild to me. What is Cover Girl about? Come on, let's
go. Okay, so back in October, I performed at this rave / birthday party / it was just a function, honestly. And it was in Chicago. Shout out to Sydney Sulfur. She put it on. It was her birthday.
Okay.
But yeah, like that's like when I really had the realization, like, damn, the pretty girls really do want free drugs. Like and then like I had the beat sitting around for like a while.
Okay.
And I came home from that trip. And when I recorded, it's like a month later. I'm coming home from that trip. I'm just typical chilling in my zone, smoking, vibing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the pretty girls want free drugs. I'm like, oh my God, what? So, yeah.
So
that whole.
So maybe a touchy subject, maybe a touchy question. Are you willing to talk about your experience as a lesbian and a trans woman?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. what has it been like? I mean, from my perspective, in my social media circles, the little degrees that are closest to me, people know Chloe Hotline. So how has the experience been navigating, this emerging artistry as a Black trans woman and a lesbian?
Well, honestly, like, so sometimes, honestly, it's kind of 50-50 because sometimes, like, I won't be like all dolled up. Like, so sometimes I just like to be comfortable, So sometimes I'm just chilling, And I've done shows, I've performed like that. That's like, yeah, that's a part of the whole Chloe Hotline thing, just being you. So sometimes I'm not all the way dolled up, and it throws people for a loop when I'm like, yeah, I'm trans. Like, it throws people for a loop. They're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh yeah, I like girls. And then they're like, but honestly, really, I don't know. I don't know if I should go here, but women who are chasers, and I've came across a lot of them. Like I have a line in my song. My song Porcelain is kind of about that whole experience. Like I say, especially the second half, I say, is it really love or do you want my body? Like,
wow.
I've definitely felt that.
Yeah.
Like, I've definitely felt that on more than one occasion. More than one occasion, definitely.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, your experience as a lesbian and as a trans woman, you get those lyrics more strongly, definitely, your relationship with women. That comes out so strong. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is, do you have a girlfriend right now? Who is inspiring you to write these songs?
Wait, what'd you say? I'm sorry, it kind of froze.
I'm sorry about that. I said, are you dating someone now? Who is inspiring you to write your songs? You're very young. The lyrics are real lyrics. These aren't, okay, everybody's trying to be an artist right now. I'll say that. Everybody's trying to be an artist right now. And I'm going to tell you, everybody trying to be an artist right now is not a great lyricist, okay? It was a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was playing your music for like, 30-somethings, 30-year-olds, 30 to 35. And they're, they're vibing with the lyrics. That's not something that is going to be typical of an emerging or an independent artist, an artist at your level. They're vibing with the lyrics. They're okay. I think one of the lyrics that one of my friends like was just screaming at it. You said something about like waking up on Saturday or Sunday, and it felt like a champagne or a cigarette morning. Like
Yeah,
that's some shit
champagne
that.
nights. Champagne nights turn to cigarette mornings.
Champagne nights turn to cigarette mornings. Thought about that, but my life ain't that boring. Not half bad since I never been touring. They wanna kill me, so the pedal I for it.
That's not shit that's you get there in your late 20s when you're like, I need that champagne. I need that champagne night turn that cigarette morning. Like that's some deep shit.
I
I would
mean,
say. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. Go ahead.
like, so I'm the youngest of 6, so I've always been around older people. So let's just say I was ahead of the curve a little bit, doing certain things I wasn't supposed to at 12, 13. And that kind of like that, and the pandemic on top of that, it aged me. Like, I feel like I'm old as shit. Like,
yeah.
it just made me think about things more. Like, and even when I was like wilding out, going crazy, like I still had some type of, conscience. Like, okay, like I'm young now. I'm young now. I'm acting a fool. Like, cool. But when I'm older, like I need to be on my shit. So
yeah,
I've lived a lot of life, and I've been around a lot of different people. I've been around like a lot of different people, a lot of different age groups, Like, I feel like I'm one of the only few artists out now that actually like that the whole 18 to 35 demographic could enjoy. Like, because I feel like at every stage of adulthood, I feel like somebody can relate to some of my lyrics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what you said about kind of just like having to grow up. I don't know if you've caught any of the tweets or any of my blurbs about just society in general right now and how I'm trying to navigate and like incorporate Fierce Entertainment Media Network, into a reality. And I'm kind of in a battle with myself right now, trying to figure out how to get funding. I obviously don't want it to go in a way where every other corporation and media company has failed, us Black trans women. And so I'm trying to figure that out. But don't let my opinion sway you. But what are sort of your aspirations when it comes to your art? Is it more about the money for you, or is there another drive there? What's really driving you?
I just have a passion for music. Like,
Yeah.
I've had a passion for music since I was a really young kid. Like, I really do. Like, when I say I really do this shit, like I really do this music shit. Like, I'm not in it.
Yeah.
I'm not in it for just a quick buck. Now I'd love to make tons of quick bucks off this shit. Hell yeah. But it's all about I have a standard, I have a standard. I have a quality standard. You know what I mean? Like, I just put that detail into it. And I feel like that's what's lacking a lot, like in a lot of people's art these days. Like, I really study music. Like, I really love it. Like,
I love to hear that. I really love to hear that. Exactly. Yes, it's all about studying, and I'm really learning that just life in general is really about the experience. I've always been chasing like end goals, like damn, running, chasing shit, and I'm just like, okay, it's not about where I'm going. It's about the journey. It's actually about the experience of the work and the connections and the networking, meeting new people.
Right.
It's the experience. Speaking of experience, the water ball. Are you ready? Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I'm
very excited as well. This is going to be the first Fierce Entertainment Media Network event, and I'm very glad to have you as one of the first musical guests at one of those events. I'm doing all of this to get the girls paid. I'm like, listen, if you're out here at the ground level making music, making good music.
Yeah.
I can be on my shit too at the ground level, making a good ass fun event for you to perform at. That's
exactly.
That's all I'm saying. So I'm very excited for that. Yeah. I think this has been really great. I really enjoyed this chat. Is there, what else do you want to share? What do you want the people to know about Chloe? About Chloe Hotline?
What do I want people to know? I want people to know that I do have an end goal. My end goal is honestly to be one of the greatest musicians ever. Like one of the greatest to ever do this shit. And as a Black trans woman, I feel like it's an accomplishable goal. It definitely
And
is.
I feel like you're honestly there. Like, I don't know how to articulate that, but I feel like that's part of your purpose and your destiny. It feels like a quality that you've had for a really long time, and if you haven't, it's something that completely changed your life, and now it's just stuck with you. But I absolutely believe that you are going to be a huge household name. Big Chloe, Her Majesty, thank you so much. Thank you for all the work and for collaborating with me and for doing this interview.
Thank you for having me. Anytime, by the way. Like
all right, so that's when I call you up, pick up the phone. All right, Chloe, thank you so much. And thank you everybody else for tuning in to Fierce Entertainment Media News. I'm gonna try to do many more episodes and series like this. As you can see, most of the things on the YouTube channel are just pilots, kind of just experimentation. But the more funding we get and the more experience I get, the more shows I can bring you. Thank you everybody